I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas and got everything you were hoping for. If one or some of those things are IoT devices and you'd like to set them up in a secure way, then you're watching the right video. So why bother setting up your IoT devices differently than, let's say, a laptop or a console? The reason is a lot of these devices have many vulnerabilities, ranging from weak or hard-coded passwords, inability in providing firmware updates, lackluster device management, and much more. Here I've pictured the OWASP IoT Top 10 Vulnerabilities. I'll have that article linked in the description below. Okay, we've established that your shiny new smart plug or light bulb may be vulnerable. But so what, you may be thinking? It's just a light bulb. What is someone going to do? Randomly turn my light on or off? Well, yes, maybe. But there's more to it than that. What bad actors can do is something called lateral movement. That means compromising one device and using that trusted device on your network to get further in. Don't believe me? A casino was hacked after hackers exploited a vulnerability in an IoT thermometer in an aquarium in the lobby. From there, they were able to move to access that high roller database of gamblers and pulled that information. Pretty crazy, huh? So this works because on a private network, like the one you have at home, your devices trust each other in some capacity. This makes it easy for people to set up and connect devices in their own homes, like a printer to a computer or your iPad to your computer, etc. Hackers exploit this trust relationship. And it's not really a vulnerability or an oversight. This was created intentionally. This is an intentional design choice for consumers. All right, so now that I've terrified you, it's time to throw away your IoT devices, right? Well, not so fast. There are ways to protect them, and here are 3 of those ways, starting with a method that doesn't cost you a penny. The first one, you can put them on a guest network. In most routers that ISPs provide, there's usually a guest network you can connect to, along with your 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. That guest network is usually a vulnerability in enterprises and is usually disabled, but you can use it to put all your vulnerable IoT devices on it. What the guest network does is allow, guests to be able to access the internet through your router in an isolated manner. The guest network does not allow devices on there to communicate to devices on your home network. It's not true network segmentation, but it's still more secure. Router behind a router is the second method. And this method involves buying another router and connecting it to your regular ISP router. So like a little chain of routers. And connecting all your IoT devices to that one, the new one that you bought. This provides great extra security as those devices will be in their own subnet. And here's the best part. You don't have to buy a top-of-the-line or brand new router. You can get something really basic and cheap, even something pre-owned like you'd find on Facebook Marketplace. IoT devices use very little bandwidth, so you don't need anything crazy. You can get something that's a few years old and still receiving updates, and you're good to go. The receiving updates part is more for like extra security, extra firmware, and all that good stuff. It's nice to have a few years left of updates. Anyway, the last option is a complete replacement of the router your ISP provided you with. It's something more professional. You can buy a real fancy and expensive router that has customizable firewall and the capability to make and edit VLANs, which are virtual LANs that separate traffic logically. And that's really the best way to go if you want to secure those devices. It's what enterprises use, it's what businesses use. Basically, any kind of medium to large size business uses VLANs to separate all different kinds of devices, printers, workstations, servers, but it's usually more expensive to go this route, and it requires more knowledge because you have to know what you're doing when you're setting up a firewall or VLANs Otherwise, you can make yourself even more vulnerable than you were before with the default ISP router you started with. So there you have it. If you got some new IoT devices, enjoy them. Just make sure to properly secure them so you don't end up on a website like Shodan where people are watching you through your webcam or something.